Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully add some of the attribute and also it's display all the default validation message, right? Now from to this video I want to make this validation little bit interactive. If you want to do that work, like I want to add another attribute. If you go to our input field for the full name, like that is our full name, right? Here I have already added some of the attribute as a type, name, placeholder, required, and also if you want to add another one, like there is another one as a mean length. Okay, if you make it as a mean, I can say there is a mean length. So with this mean length, that will be actually work for how many minimum character you have to insert. So right now I make it as a 3. That means this user for this input field, if you want to add this input data, this user must have to be input as a 3 character. Okay, and also there is another one as a maximum, that is the max length. That this max length is means I make it as a 100. Okay, right now this user for this input field maximum length will be supported as a 100. Like if you now want to check it, if you now click as a save all, so here I make that as minimum length will be as a 3, right? If you now go click as a refresh, and now I want to make it only as a, and now if you click as a register, now you can see it's now show one of the default messages as a please length this text as a 3 character minimum. Okay, automatically now it's created this type of one of the validation. I hope it's very much clear to you. So if you want to add that some of the style, like when that will be not appropriate, if there have any issues, then that will be display as a red rather than that will be display as a green. Like right now that is not validate, right? You can see it's not appropriate for the reasons it's already display some of the error. That means when it should be as a 3 character, I make it as a 3. Right now there is a 3 character. Now that should be okay. Click as a register. Yes, you can see now our this form is successfully done. Now that is another one is started for the validation, our email address. Okay, now I want to add some of the style. If you want to add that style, go to your style, that is style.css, and into this style.css after this, okay, I want to add another style class. So that will be for the input, right? So that will be the input, and input I want to add that as a validate. Okay, that is input valid. That means when this input field will be as a valid, then I want to add some of the border. Okay, I want to add that border, and for the border I want to make it as a 1 pixel. Okay, that will be as a 1 pixel solid. Okay, 1 pixel solid, and then that will be as a green. Okay, I make it as a green. Okay, and also when that will be as a invalid, okay, then what exactly it will be do for the input field, and then if you make it as invalid, okay, invalid, that is invalid. When that will be as invalid, I want to do the same things. I want to add some of the border as a 1 pixel, that will be as a 1 pixel, and then I make it as a solid, and then that will be as a red. Okay, then I want to make it as a red. Great. Now that will be very interactive. If you now click as a save all, and right now I want to refresh it again, and you can see I have already added all that field as a required. For the reasons it's automatically become as a red. And if you make it as a 1 character, which is because here I have already added some of the minimum length, and that will be as a 3. When that will be as a 2, okay, I make it as a 2, I make it as a 2 and then 3. Yes, you can see when that will be appropriate. Okay, when all the validation is successfully done, then it's become automatically as a green. Okay, here I have already put this type of one of the CSS class as input. When it will be as a valid, then that will be as a green, rather than input invalid, then that will be as a red. Right now it's valid. For the reasons you can see it's now become green. And if you put some of the email address in here @gmail.com, and you can see it's now become changed. That means right now that is valid. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. Now that is our phone number. So into this phone number here I have already added one of the pattern, right? Here we have to flow one of the pattern. If you want to do that work, like if you go to our input field into this index, and that is actually our phone number. You can see for the phone number I have already added one of the pattern. For the first time that will be as a 5 character, and then that will be as a dash, and then that will be as a 6 character, right? For the reasons here I want to add another attribute. I want to add another attribute as a pattern. Okay, pattern. So that is a pattern attribute. So into this pattern attribute, there have the multiple validation you can actually add. If you search into the Google as a input pattern, you will get lot of the pattern code. So right now if you want to add that attribute, then that will be here there is a dollar sign. Okay, that is, in particular that area I want to do until that will be started from the 0 to 9. Okay, I make it as a 0 to 9, and after that our first area that should be displayed as a 5 character, right? I want to add that as a 5. So here with this curly bracket, and into this curly bracket I want to make it as a 5. Okay, better I want to make it into the another line. Okay, here I want to do that work. So that is our, it should be started from the 0 to 9, and I want to make it our first as a 5. Great. And after that, that will be as a dash, right? So I make it as a dash, and then also our 6. So I make it again as a 0 to 9. That will be as a 0 to 9, and then for the next time that will be as a how many? That will be as a 6. So I make it as a another with the curly bracket as a 6 character. Okay, so that is the one of the regular expression I simply added for make this pattern for our phone number pattern. Now if you want to check it, click as a save all, and now if you go click as a, right now I have better refresh it. Okay, refresh it, and I put some of the name, which is totally fine. I put that email address, which is totally fine. Okay, here I put some of the email address, and you can see it's become now green. And after that there is a phone number. Here if you put this type of one of the phone, you can see it's not valid because here I have already added one of the pattern. So our first will be as a 5. So I make it as a 1 2 3 4 5. So now there is a 5, and then that will be as a dash, and after that that will be as a 6, right? I make it as a 6. You can see when that will be get as a 6 character, when after that is a dash, and then when it will get as a 5 character, then our this validation is become green. That means that is approved. Okay, I hope it's very much clear to you. And then that the website, so website is totally fine. Okay, here we don't need to add any attribute in here, and then there is a password. So for the password, that is also because here I have already added some of the validation that is minimum 8 character, right? If you go to that Google, you will get, as I told you will get everything into the Google. So right now I want to write down as a regular, okay, regular expression for password. So if you write down with this as a regular expression for password, then you will get this type of one of the resources. You can see into the Stack Lover that they have already 2013, or someone actually put this type of one of the question. If you open it, so right now from here you can see there is the same things. There is a range for password must contain at least 8 characters, at least 1 number, and both there is a both lower and upper letter and a special character. So that is all that validation. Okay, you can see that is 8 years ago, and now from to this position I want to take it. Okay, I want to copy simply that things from here. If you go like that is actually here, there is a minimum 8 character, at least 1 upper letter, 1 lowercase letter, 1 number, and a special character. Okay, you can see that is the same things. Better right now I copy it. I simply copy it, and now I want to add this pattern. I want to add this pattern in our password. Okay, into this password here I want to make it as a pattern. Okay, so our pattern will be this one, so which I have already copied. Now I want to paste it. Great. So which is totally fine. So into this pattern, that is very much easy one of the pattern actually. Here with this it will be check all the tower is there have in that means in our input field area, is there have any lowercase or not, this uppercase or not, is there have any digit it or not. Okay, with this it will be check. That means if there have any numeric digit or not. Okay, and also it will be check is there have any symbol or not. Okay, this type of one of the symbol or not, and then there is the 8. You can see I have already added that minimum 8 character will be supported. For this here you can see it's now display as a 8. That means minimum user must have to be add as a 8 digit. I hope you get some of the idea. Is very easy. The uppercase, there is a lowercase, there is a uppercase. It will be check the digit, it will be check that symbol, and then its minimum that will be the 8. So simple things that you have to do. So that is one of the pattern for the password. So now if you want to check it, and also here if you want to add that any type of another custom a special character, you can also add it. Okay, it's totally fine. That is totally customizable. Now I want to check it. Now go to our form, now refresh it, and here I put some of the name, I put that email address, put some of the number. Okay, there is a phone number. Oh, sorry, there is a phone number, there is some of the validation, right? I want to add that there will be a 5 and then the dash and then that will be another 6. Now that is, you can see when that will be as a 7, that will be also become as a rate, so that will be as a 6. So right now which is totally fine. Then I make it as a some of the URL and then the password. So for the password I want to do here, that will be as 8, right? That means if you have to do, you have to add that minimum 8. You can see that is not executed. So here also you have to do that will be one of the uppercase, that is one of the lowercase, and also there should be some of the symbol, right? That should be some of the special character, and that will be as a length as 8. So I want to better put some of the hints to the user. Okay, what exactly the type it should be. Like I make it as a title. Like I put on the title, and into this title area I want to write down as a please include at last one. Okay, at last one uppercase character, and then one lower case character, and then one digit and one special character. So that will be our total hints. Okay, into this password area, that should be one uppercase character, that should be one lowercase character, one digit. Okay, that should be one digit, and then that will be one of the special character. So it means it should be like what? It should be like I make it as a Aryan. Okay, I make that Aryan as a and then Aryan, and then I want to add that as a at the rate. So also that will be one of the numbers. So I make it as a 8. Okay, and then at the rate. And then we have to add one of the special character. I have already added that special character, right? And that will be as 8 digit. That means I have added one of the uppercase, which is totally fine, and I have added some of the lowercase. So that is all lowercase. I have added one of the digit. So that is one of the digit. All right, that is 8, one of the digit, and one special character. So right now I use that as at the rate. So as I told you, if you want to here that have already at the rate, if you want to add another custom special character, you can add it. Now if you use this password, now that should be okay. If you now placed it, yes, you can see it's now become green. Okay, it's now totally become green. I hope, friend, it's very much clear to you. So now if you also want to check it, now I want to display this title. I save all, clear the refresh, put that name, put that email address, put some of the number. Why that is actually number I have actually used, that is a 222, right? So that will be the 5, and then I want to make it as a 5556 time, which is totally fine. That is a website, and then password, right? And now if you put any appropriate some of the password class as a register, now you see our title is now become display as a please include at last one uppercase, one lowercase character, one digit, everything. Great. So here if you put it appropriate, then that will be green, and that is or the confirm password. So friend, here we successfully add all that our attributes, and from to the next video we'll work for in our this is JavaScript area. Okay, with this we'll actually custom all that our validation. How can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.